Obviously, there's some very passionate opinions on both sides of this debate. I want to bring in Andrew Spar, who's the president of the Volusia County Teachers Union, and a former Orange County mayoral candidate, Matt Faulkner. Guys, good to have you here. Matt, first one, obviously, numbers don't lie here. We live in the real world, and Florida is facing a multi-billion-dollar shortfall in the budget. But do we need to make up that difference on the backs of people that, really haven't had a raise in years?
Well, I understand the unions don't want to reform this issue, but the fact is these government pensions and pay obligations are not sustainable. Nationally, we have a $2 trillion on underfunded pension liabilities, and we can't go ask the people that are living paycheck to paycheck or the small businesses struggling to survive to pay that obligation. The public sector employees are going to have to share an increasing part of the burden because we can't go and ask for any more money anymore.
I think Andrew would probably argue that there are a lot of teachers that are living paycheck to paycheck, but why shouldn't you, just to answer this, why shouldn't you give 5% each of your own pension?
Well, for so long in the state of Florida, we've been told that our compensation system includes our pension, our health care, and our salary.
Yeah, you make up for the lousy wages you get because your retirement is so good.
And when you put that all together, educators, for example, rank 45th in the nation. There are 44 states that are doing a better job compensating their teachers, for example, and education employees. And so, I think it really comes down to the issue of we are people who are living paycheck to paycheck, and why do we keep balancing the budget on the backs of the workers?
And I'm not picking on classroom teachers because I think on the food chain, the chain of public employee pay scales, they're probably at the bottom. But we've got public employees making $283,000 a year annually in just a pension payment. And pensions were not meant to make people rich. They're meant to keep people out of poverty in their old age. The taxpayers can't afford to pay their civil servants more in salary and benefits than they have themselves.
Well, we just eliminate the double dipping. Isn't this double dipping?
But let's address the issue then and not blame everyone. I mean, the fact of the matter is that most people in the pension system receive less than $30,000 a year. I mean, public education employees make up almost 50% of the retirement system in the state of Florida, and there's very few of them that would make more than $30,000 a year in pensions. In fact, most of them make significantly less.
I'll tell you, the number of times that I've hosted one of these gift for teaching programs, and I find these horror stories about these teachers that are dipping into their own pockets to make sure the kids, have the equipment that they need to get through the school year. Eventually, this is all going to trickle down to the kids. That's got to be that, A, bad, B, a political tsunami for Governor Scott.
Well, I agree that the classroom teachers are on the bottom of the pay scale, but we have to realize that they're not the only people here. We've got firemen and police that have very generous pension and pay scales, and we have to address them globally. But the fact of the matter is we can't go to the consumer and the taxpayer and ask for more money anymore. We have to reform the system, and if we don't reform the system, it will break. It will fall under the weight of its own bureaucracy.
I'm just about out of time. Real quick, final thought.
Yeah, I just want to say, let's not just look at the pension system. It's the entire economy. And what we're talking about here is, with a lot of the proposals coming from the governor and other legislators, is to put more money into Wall Street, which is what, in my opinion, got us to the place where we are now. So let's look at real reform. Let's talk about the whole economy as a whole.
I agree with you on that.
Andrew Spar, Matt Faulkner, guys, good to have you here. Thanks.
Great.